things that we're trying to do, without a doubt, is get more and more and more kids involved in fishing, and we have worked really, really hard to try to figure out ways to do that. And one of the most revolutionary, probably the most revolutionary thing that's ever happened in kids fishing is the development of a tangle-free fishing rod. How many people have taken little 4- and 5-year-old kids, your own kids, your grandkids, neighbors' kids, out fishing and spent about half of your time untangling their rod and reels? Anybody ever done that? Yeah, everybody's done that. If you've taken a 4- or 5- or 6-year-old out there trying to get them started in fishing, that you're spending half of your day untangling their rod and reels. And so what we've developed is a Jimmy Houston tangle-free rod and reel. If you'll notice, if you look at this rod, there are no eyes on it. There are no eyes on it at all. So the line runs down the center of the rod. Runs right down the center of the rod. We've got the line come in, or we've got actually 2 or 3 models of this, a standard model, a deluxe model. Very easy to rig and run the line down the center of the rod. So, and if you go fishing out there, with a 4-year-old, boy, that water's deep. I hope I don't fall overboard. You go out there with a 4-year-old, and no matter how you tell them to wind their bait up to the end of the rod, and when they cast, they're casting with their wrist, back and forward, they're going to bring the rod to right here. That's what they do. Remember when you took any of your kids fishing, this is what they do. They bring their rod right here to cast, and then they do that. That's what they do. When they bring it up here to cast, this invariably is going to do just exactly what it's doing. It's going to wind around the end of the rod, and it's going to get tangled up on the eyes that's on standard kids fishing rods. When that happens, they're going to throw it, and it's not going to go anywhere because it's tangled around the end of the rod, just like it does with any adult's rod, tangled around the end of the rod. So when they bring it up here like this and it tangles around the end of the rod, it makes no difference. They throw it, oh my gosh, it still goes out there. No difference whatsoever, none at all. So that thing is going to go no matter what. So not only is your little 4-year-old or 5-year-old or 6-year-old that would have his rod tangled up on the end of his rod here before he casts, not only is he going to say, wow, looky there, Daddy, looky there, Dad, look, Mom, how far I threw that. He's going to do it every time. And you're going to be able to go ahead and, throw your Zara spook out there and walking across top of the water, because you're not going to spend the whole day untangling his rod and reel. The tangle-free rod and reel. My entire lifetime, we've been trying to get more kids to fish. One of the difficulties in doing that has always been that the rod and reels got tangled up all the time. The kids got frustrated. The parents got frustrated. Grandma and Granddad got frustrated. And you start griping at the kids, and let me tell you, once you start griping at your kids out there fishing, they ain't having that much fun. And they're going to quit. They're not going to want to do it. But here's the other thing that we've done at Little Anglers, and this is revolutionary. This is like the most incredible thing that's ever happened. We've got a little lure that comes in the kits with the Little Angler, the Jimmy Houston Kid Caster rod and reels. A little lure that comes in here, 3, 4, 5 lures in the kit. You can buy these lures separately, that attaches onto a plastic hook. So the first time you take your kids out there to the swimming pool or to the lake or to the pond, the creek, the river, and go fishing, you don't even have to worry about putting a real hook on there. Teach them how to throw and cast. Got a plastic hook on it, and you put that lure on there. Now here's the cool thing about this lure. That's a great lure. We got millions of lures in this building. They'll all catch fish if you do the right thing at the right time. This lure will catch a fish every time, every single time. Watch what happens when we put that lure in the water. We put that lure in the water, and it transforms into a styrofoam fish. A kid catches one every single time. And let me tell you, we've been playing with these for a couple of years with my grandkids. I've got them at 4, 5, and 6 years. Look at there. Caught one very first cast. Bill Dance ordered 500 of these. A big multi-pack, First time I showed Bill this, he played with it for 30 minutes. What the Kid Casters is all about, I've dedicated my entire life to helping teach people how to fish, fishing with the right equipment, good equipment, learning how to catch fish from little kids up to adults. But in teaching them, you got to make it fun if you're talking about 4- and 5-year-olds. Now, one of the things about the Jimmy Houston Kid Caster lures, they don't always turn into the same fish. That other fish over there was a yellowtail, I think, right? This is a blue guy right here. I don't know what he is. Might be a blue runner. Might be a blue runner. But the fish are different shapes, and on the back of the package, and we got incredible packaging. You can see the package here. We got absolutely the best kids packaging on kids fishing rod and reels in the business, as a matter of fact. And on the back of the packaging, on the back of the lure packs, turn it over on the back and it teaches your kids how to identify the fish. That's one of the smaller lures right there. They throw really, really well. Throw really, really, really well. We put a little practice plug in the package with all of our kid casters, and the little practice plug, oh, it says "Kiss Me." I wonder where that come from. Kiss me, isn't that amazing? Yeah. It's incredible. It's probably the most innovative thing to come along in kids fishing in years. It's going to get a lot more kids involved in fishing and love fishing than ever happened before. And let me tell you, when you take kids fishing, they develop an incredibly different and better set of moral and ethical values than they developed in anything else. Nothing wrong with football and basketball and baseball and soccer and all that other stuff. I did all that stuff when I was in high school and college. Nothing wrong with that. It teaches you a lot. But fishing will teach them more about life, more about God, more about the things that they need to learn. They'll develop a different and better set of moral and ethical values than they can anywhere else. So you got to take your kids fishing, and this helps make them love it. It makes it easy. Tangle-free rod and reel.